This is the most famous face from the ancient world. But hidden underneath it, there is a second face that no one saw for 3,000 years. The story of this sculpture is a mystery wrapped in a scandal. A secret buried in plaster, an eye that was never finished, and a German dig accused of smuggling a queen out of Egypt. This is the bust of Nefertiti. So what is she hiding? Let's start with who she was. Around 1345 years before Christ, Egypt was ruled by a pharaoh named Akhenaten, a king who did something no one had done before. He threw out Egypt's old gods and ordered the whole country to worship a single one, the sun disk. Beside him stood his queen, Nefertiti, whose name means the beautiful one has come. And in the artwork of that strange new age, she is everywhere, sometimes shown as equal to the king himself. Then it all vanished. When Akhenaten died, Egypt erased him. His new city was abandoned, his temples torn down, his name chiseled off the walls. For over 3,000 years, the queen and her king were almost forgotten, buried in the desert sand. Now jump forward to the 6th of December 1912. A German team led by an archaeologist named Ludwig Borchardt was digging in the ruins of that lost city in the workshop of a royal sculptor called Thutmose. And there, in the rubble of a collapsed room, they found her. A painted bust, almost perfectly preserved, lying face down in the dirt. Borchardt wrote in his diary that night just 5 words. "Description is useless, see for yourself." And here is where the mystery begins, because what happened next is still argued about today. Under the rules of the dig, the finds were to be split between Egypt and the German team. But critics say Borchardt played a trick. When the division happened, they claim the bust was listed not as painted limestone, but as gypsum, a far less valuable material. They say he showed the inspector only a poor, badly lit photograph and kept the bust itself packed away in a crate. Whether it was fraud or a fair deal is still disputed, but the result was clear. Nefertiti went to Berlin. For over a decade, she was kept almost secret, sitting in the private home of the man who funded the dig. Then, in 1924, Germany finally put her on display and the world lost its mind. Overnight, a 3,000-year-old Egyptian queen became a global celebrity, and Egypt realized what it had lost. Egypt demanded her back, and has been demanding her back ever since. Germany has always refused, and the queen soon caught the eye of the most dangerous collector in history. When Egypt asked again in the 1930s, Adolf Hitler personally blocked it. He was obsessed with the bust and reportedly said he would never give up the head of the queen. He wanted her as the crowning jewel of a monstrous museum he planned to build in a rebuilt Berlin. Now look closely at her face and you will notice something strange. She has only one eye. The left eye socket is completely empty, with no inlay at all. For years, people assumed the missing eye had simply fallen out over the centuries. But when Borchardt searched the workshop floor, he found nothing. No stray eye, no trace of glue where an inlay should have been fixed. So the leading theory today is stranger and more human. The bust was never meant to be finished. It was a master model, a teaching sculpture kept in the studio to show apprentices exactly how to carve the queen. A perfect face, deliberately left one eye short. But the deepest secret was invisible until modern machines could look inside her. In 2009, scientists in Berlin put the bust through a medical CT scanner and found that Nefertiti has 2 faces. Under the smooth painted plaster, we all know there is a second hidden face carved into the limestone core. And the 2 are not quite the same. The hidden inner face has faint creases at the corners of the mouth, a slight bump on the ridge of the nose, less perfect eyes. The sculptor carved a real human woman in stone, and then, in the outer layer of plaster, smoothed her into a flawless idol. We may be looking at the difference between the queen as she was and the queen as she wished to be seen. So step back and look at everything this quiet face is carrying. A vanished religion and an erased king. A queen who was worshipped, then forgotten for 3,000 years. A discovery so perfect the man who found it could barely describe it, followed by an accusation of a cover-up that Egypt still has not forgiven. A missing eye that was never lost. And beneath the surface, a second, more human face that no one saw for 3 millennia. So here is my question for you. Should Nefertiti stay in Berlin, where she has been an icon for a century, or go home to Egypt, where she was made? Tell me in the comments. If you like a masterpiece with a buried secret, watch our video on the Mona Lisa next. And if you want art history with the real story left in, subscribe. We do this a few times a week. Until next time.